So I changed my mind a little bit on what I'm going to do with the glass and the framing. I'm still a little bit indecisive, but I was looking at the weights of the glass and went online and just got like a basic calculator to calculate the glass weights. 2 millimeters, which I normally go for, would land me 8 kilograms, which is pretty heavy for a frame, and I can't go 2 millimeters, and I'd have to go at least 3 mils to have some type of strength. That gets up to 12 kilograms for just the glass. Then it has a slight tint in it, which I don't like. And then I was phoning around and just double checking with suppliers about the core extra clear or OptiView, or basically it's low iron content glass. It's extra clear. It's basically the stuff you see in your shower doors. But the thinnest they got on that is 4 millimeters. And that means you'd have 16 kilograms of glass on the frame, which is crazy. So plexiglass is more expensive, but that same size of plexiglass, which is 3 millimeters, is only 5.5 kilos. So 8 kilos of glass that will break, or 16 kilograms of glass that would work. Otherwise, 5 kilos of plexiglass. So I'm going to go with the plexiglass. There are different types of plexiglasses. There's cast, extruded, and then there's also extra hard, which has got a hard coating for scratching. And I think that's a little bit out my budget. I got a price for that. It's like 3,200 Rand a sheet, as opposed to 2,000 Rand for extruded stuff. So I'm probably going to go to the extruded glass and use half a sheet, and that would cost me about 1,500 Rand of perspex. And think about that in the meantime. But I just want to get to what I'm doing next, which is the mounting. I've also decided to cut out the mount board. So what I'm doing is I'm going to be pasting these individual prints straight onto a 5mm foam core. I'm going to use cold glue for that, and just a roller and press it. I've done it a lot. It looks primitive. I don't have a vacuum press, but it actually works. Put some weights over, and then leave that to dry. And then what I'm going to do is, you'll see that I have left a bit of a white border, so I paste down on an oversized piece and then of foam core, and then once it's dry, I'll cut right onto the edge of the print on the ink side. And then when I cut, I actually cut like a bevel inwards, and I do it by hand, believe it or not. I suppose years of practice I can control my beveling. Yeah, okay, let's get started on that. So one of the things I learned is that when I paste these prints down onto foam core or mount board, is that I put these little weights over them, and it's so important just to leave them on for as long as you possibly can. Because if you don't, and you take it off, you think the glue's dried, and then you take the weights off and all looks good, and then a couple hours later you see it buckling because the glue is actually still drying. Although it's bonded and everything is great, it starts to pull, and because it's on one side of the foam core or the mount board, it actually pulls tight on one side, and that causes it to bend because one side's now shorter than the other side, and it's a nightmare to get straight again. So I normally leave these like overnight and into the afternoon. Yeah, so that's one of the things about my art, is like I can't rush it. I mean, I've tried to get deadlines, and nowadays I just I don't make the deadline, because all I do is I shoot myself in the foot by trying to rush things. And it gets harder and harder, and then it's stressful, and it costs money, and and it's not why I do this really. You've got to have, it's got to be pleasant. So yeah, the more, the slower I go with my art, actually the more I enjoy it. I suppose that's one of the problems though, is that, as an artist, you try and make a living and you're trying to get art done, deadlines and orders, and keep clients happy by making artwork that takes a week, do it in 2 days. And all you do is make it so stressful for yourself. It's not even worth it. And if you do it slowly, it's kind of like, it starts to feel a bit like a hobby. So just slowly and just progressively just put the hours in, but they don't have to be quick hours, they can be slow hours. And it becomes so much more enjoyable. I did go to a time when I was just like crazy making stuff. Get on home, get on home, get on home, yeah. Oh, yeah. Get on home,